This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Gimide with the news, the headlines first. Prime Minister's office gives integrated shape to action plans of ministries to implement government's common minimum program. Government decides to acquire land for petroleum exploration in Dailek district. Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Bimala Rai Paudel meets USAID Administrator Samantha Power. And death toll in Turkey earthquake nears 8,000. Now the news in detail. The Office of the Prime Minister has given an integrated shape to the action plans and programs forwarded by the ministries. The meeting of the Office of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers held yesterday at Singh Durbar decided to integrate the programs of the ministries in order to implement the government's common minimum program. Talking to journalists after the meeting, Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Bimala Rai Paudel said the integrated action plan largely included the inter-ministry programs to make the common minimum program result-oriented. The government has decided to acquire the land for petroleum exploration in Dailek district, unveiling Sunday's cabinet meeting decisions in Singh Durbar yesterday. Communication Minister and government spokesperson Rekha Sharma said the cabinet decided to acquire 45 ropenis of land at Bhairabi rural municipality in Dailek for petroleum exploration. Minister Sharma added that the cabinet also decided to allow the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs to table the bill prepared to amend some acts in the federal parliament. Likewise, the government approved the 5-day India visit of Defence Minister Hari Prasad Upreti beginning on the 13th of February. The meeting also permitted Secretary at the Ministry of Energy, Water Resources and Irrigation, Gopal Prasad Sigdel, to attend the IWMI meeting to be held in South Africa. Responding to a query from a journalist regarding the challenges following the exit of the Rashtriya Swatantra Party from the government, spokesperson Sharma said the government was not in a crisis. She clarified that the government was safe as the Rashtriya Swatantra Party had not withdrawn its support given to the government. Similarly, Communication Minister Sharma assured to address the problems of farmers and end the agricultural dependency for national economic development. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda and CPNUML Chairman KP Sharma Oli met yesterday. According to Prime Minister Dahal's Secretariat, the two leaders discussed contemporary political issues during the meeting held at Balwatar. The leaders also discussed about the ways ahead following the decision of the Rashtriya Swatantra Party to leave the coalition government. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has said that public service delivery has been affected due to a large number of government holidays. Speaking at the meeting of the Democracy Day Main Celebration Committee at the Prime Minister's office in Singh Durbar, Prime Minister Dahal called for a review of public holidays. Meanwhile, the meeting yesterday decided to celebrate Democracy Day with various programs on the 19th of February. Newly elected National Assembly Vice Chairperson Urmila Aryal was administered the oath of office and secrecy yesterday. At a program held at the office of the President, National Assembly Chairperson Ganesh Prasad Temilsina administered the oath of office and secrecy to Vice Chair Aryal in presence of President Bidyadevi Bhandari. Aryal was elected to the post of National Assembly Vice Chair on Monday. Vice Chair Aryal assumed the office yesterday itself. The Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nepal, Dr. Bimala Rai Paudel, yesterday met the Administrator of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, Samantha Power. In a meeting held at the ministry, they discussed diverse matters related to Nepal-US mutual interest, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Agendas including the execution of the U.S. Assistance Millennium Challenge Corporation, climate change and assistance to be provided to Nepal after graduation from the least developed countries status were also discussed during the meeting. Meanwhile, the administrator of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, Samantha Power, yesterday announced that USAID would provide up to $58.5 million to advance democratic progress in Nepal. Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Rekha Sharma, has said the IT sector, which has a significant contribution to the economy, is yet to be protected and promoted by the state. Speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the Info Developers Can Infotech 2023 that began in Kathmandu yesterday, the minister highlighted the significant contribution of the IT sector to the economic prosperity of the country. However, Communication Minister Sharma said the production of human resources at a sufficient level had not been possible as it was yet to fall under the top priority of the state. A program titled Empowered Women Prosperous Nepal has been launched at the joint collaboration of the governments of Nepal, United Nations and the European Union. The 4-year program was launched amid a special function organized at Patan of Lalitpur yesterday. Minister for Women, Children and Senior Citizens, Bhagawati Chowdhury, Director of the European Union's International Partnership, Peteris Ustops, and UNICEF representative for Nepal, Elke Wishk, jointly launched the program. The program, with a funding of $19.5 million, would be implemented with the partnership of federal, provincial and local governments of Nepal. The program would be implemented in Karnali, Madhes and Sudar Paschim provinces. Likewise, the government of Nepal on Tuesday unveiled National Pashmina Sector Exchange Strategy 2022-26. To augment the supply capacity of Nepal's private sector and connect its Pashmina sector with regional and global markets to increase exports. The launch of the strategy comes after several rounds of multi-stakeholder consultations by the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies in collaboration with Trade and Export Promotion Center and the Nepal Pashmina Industries Association as part of the European Union Nepal Trade and Investment Program, a project funded by the European Union with technical support from the International Trade Center. The Ministry of Land Management, Cooperative and Poverty Alleviation has suggested the local governments for the classification of land at the earliest. The ministry made an appeal to the local governments as sales and rights ownership of land had not taken place due to the lack of land classification. Ministry Secretary Dr. Damodar Regmi said the plant development would be expedited and citizens' challenges would be resolved soon after the land classification. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. On to some international updates now. The death toll in the Turkey earthquake has neared 8,000 in Turkey and Syria. According to Al Jazeera, at least 5,400 deaths have been reported in Turkey, while 1,800 people died in Syria. More than 20,000 have been injured in the powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake that struck the southeastern region of Turkey along the border with Syria on Monday. Less than 12 hours later, a second 7.6 magnitude tremor struck the same region. Dozens of aftershocks were recorded following the quake, with officials urging people not to enter damaged buildings due to the risks. The World Health Organization has warned the death toll may rise dramatically as rescuers find more victims. Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Management Authority says in its latest statement that 8,000 people had been rescued from nearly 5,000 destroyed buildings in the country. According to the BBC, rescuers are battling heavy rain and snow as they race against the clock to find survivors of a devastating earthquake in southeast Turkey. Now, sports. Nepal has entered the final of the SAF Under-20 Women Championship football tournament by defeating India. Nepal reached the final in the SAF Championship tournament in Bangladesh, defeating India by 3-1 in yesterday's match. Nepal, along with host Bangladesh, India and Bhutan, is participating in the tournament. Now the general weather forecast for the country for today. According to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, the weather will be partly to generally cloudy in the hilly areas of Province Number 1, Bagmati Province, Gandaki Province and Karnali Province, and partly cloudy to mainly fair in the rest of the country. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin, but before wrapping up, the headlines once again. Prime Minister's office gives integrated shape to action plans of ministries to implement government's Common Minimum Programme. Government decides to acquire land for petroleum exploration in the Dailek district. Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Bimala Rai Paudel meets USAID Administrator Samantha Power, and death toll in Turkey's earthquake nears 8,000. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.